Wow, Josh. Rude. Rude. Hi, Josh. Hi, Delta. Hi, Mike. Hi, Fish. Beyond ATC. Every single day, we're going to just sit here oozing over the demos of Beyond ATC. Is Beyond ATC the next Star Citizen? That's the real question. But I was late. I mean, I hit the button when it said 5:30 on my clock, so I don't know. Maybe it was 5:30 and 57 seconds, but I don't have the seconds counter on. I don't know. All right, Piper M500 time. I set up my Tobii eye tracker again. I don't know if I'm going to use it much. Well, I'm going to play around with it a little during the flight, see how much I hate it again. We'll see how it goes. Beyond ATC's the next Destiny. You mean it's going to have the best like first-person shooter gunplay of all games of all time? That's an interesting change. First, they weren't going to control the live traffic in Beyond ATC. Now they are controlling the live traffic. It wasn't originally planned, but now they're also adding in an FPS. I like it. I would try it. I hope they have some sort of seasonal content battle pass, monthly subscription kind of thing. I knew all along you'd be on time. At least somebody believes in me. Come on. The next Minecraft. Overscoping. Dude, Destiny, it was funny. The Gamer Awards came out, or Video Game Awards, or whatever it's called. And I watched a couple streamers, you know, like Lyric. I've been watching him forever, doing their ratings. And I love when it got to the community support part, best community support. And they listed Destiny 2 as a nominee. Is it trolling? They literally have the worst customer support this last year. Basically telling players, they literally told players, don't expect much from us. You guys want a lot of things. Don't expect much from us is basically what they said. And then they had a bunch of layoffs, and then they fired like community managers. So like, I don't know if it was just, they didn't pay attention to what's been happening with Bungie lately, or I don't know. It was funny though. Should I find let me see where my dude's at. Where's my Kip at on this thing? Forget the last place my employee was at. KHTS. Guessing there's not an M500 here. I don't really do OnAir often enough to even rent a plane anymore. I mean, I guess renting is probably my best option. That sim covers all sims worldwide. That would be so cool if that was a thing. That you could like use there's like a network of games all running VATSIM at the same time. So like ground vehicles or American and European truck simulator in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and planes flying overhead, and those sims are, you know, and then farming simulator. That would be so cool. What is the point in the future where we get so many simulator games and they're all networked together where it's just real life? Oh, it's hard to listen to another video with all... Oh, whoops. I'll be quiet. Hold on, let me turn off the music for you. All right. Let us know when you're done watching the other video and I'll continue. Is it over yet? VATSIM does allow all the major sims. Oh yeah, flight simulators. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is pretty cool when you're on VATSIM that you could see people that are in, you know, in whatever that other sim is called, the one that starts with an X, not to be confused with the social network that everyone knows and loves. Yeah, X-Plane, Prepared, and Microsoft Flight Sim. It's pretty cool. Go ahead, sir. Will this be the group flight? It's not like I'm just going to do a couple legs in the M500 and use FSHud and use OnAir Company to find a route for me. You can always fly along if you want to, and if you just want to sit back and chill and pour yourself a drink or whatever, and just chat, that's all good too. But yeah, however motivated you are. This isn't like a scenic flight type of thing. I just tend to do those on the weekends, but yeah, I just want to do a couple short legs without the pressure of VATSIM, and then without the you know, the overly friendly nature of flying with you guys in a scenic area. So much pressure to be social. I was going to check the airport here to see what planes are available at KHTS. I'm not sure which airport that is. Tri-State Ferguson? Where is I wish it said like, maybe I'm missing it, where it says like city, state, country, whatever. That would be nice. Search aircrafts. Oh, there's a Honda Jet here, which is what I must have left here. All right, I'll just use freelance mode for now. Where do we want to fly from? Let's keep it real air taxi style and find some smaller airports to fly from. Oh, you have a strip for me to consider. As long as the takeoff distance is like, I feel like I'd be comfortable with like 3,000 feet in this thing. I feel like under than that, I'm not quite sure yet. What's up, Steve? Yeah, Soul, if you wanna tell me an airport code, an ICAO, an ICAO code, do it quickly. Hey Elaine, what's up? Check the length. Oh, private strip. If it's like a little air strip, like a grass strip or something, then I don't know that the 500 will be great for it or not. Actually, you know, I've only used this thing on hard surface runways, and I don't know if it's expected to be taking off on grass or anything like that. I have no idea. Not grass. Okay. Sounds good. I realize sometimes the chat's pretty hard to see, right? Maybe I should go and try a different style of chat box. KTVC. Where's that? KTVC. Cherry Capital. Traverse City. In Michigan, I guess? It's like a pretty good airport. Look at this, 2 runways. Traverse City. I have never been here. I don't think I've ever flown from here. I'm on USA East, by the way. I'm just gonna leave it there for all of eternity. Oh, you used to ski up there. Oh, your uncle lives there and you used to ski there. Yeah. Of course. He used to play Destiny there. That must have been back in like the early days, like season 2 or 3 or something like that, back before I was playing. Hey Tim, what's up? I mean, look at this chat thing. I have it on the Twitch option. This one is called Clean. There's one called Boxed. This one looks a little too distracting, actually. Let's see what it looks like in practice. So I finally took another plunge and decided to upgrade my computer finally. I've been running the 5900X for... It's been 3 years yet? I don't know, over 2 years. And now that my GPU is, I mean, my GPU is already okay. It was always the CPU that was the problem. I have sitting behind me on the ground a new 7800 X3D, new memory, and a new motherboard. I'm on DDR4 and 5900X and the old generation of Ryzen, so it is quite, at least by Microsoft Flight Simulator standards, and for somebody that streams here and there, it's a little outdated, so... but unfortunately, I didn't have any thermal paste, so I need to wait until tomorrow. Until the thermal paste shows up. Oh, let's see this eye tracking thing. Oh no. This is supposed to be centered? How is this centered? All right, this is centered. How about now? Wow. See, I think one reason I stopped using this was having the maybe I'll turn the eye tracking off. Yeah, when I move my eyes, this is just eye movement here. If I turn my head and use my eyes, it's a little crazy. I don't know how this works with like this kind of stuff, like preset cameras, and then while I'm using it, I'm moving my eyes around, so it's moving the camera around. Head only. Let me turn on head only and see how we do. For a minute, I thought maybe I'll just do eye only and make it really, really subtle, so it just adds a little bit of movement. It sounds like a Christmas song. It's a little too early. So I could do head tracking ratio all the way up, I guess. Head tracking sensitivity. It was like 2 by default, but I'm scared of it, so I turned it down. All right, this is head centered. It's got like a weird lag time. I think it's probably because I have, it's probably just because I have my microphone in front of my mouth and it doesn't know where my head is. And then headphones on and glasses on. Has no idea. Have a pause button? Yeah, I do. I do have a pause button. I set that up. Yeah, so that's on right now while I'm crazily shaking my head around, and I'll hit it again, and yeah, there we go. Ian, what's up, man? How's it been? How's your system running? I just got mine shipped to me today, but I don't have any. I didn't do it as quite as crazy an upgrade as you, since I have a 4080 and not a 4090, but I did finally upgrade the rest of my system. It's not on this stream. It's not. I haven't put it together yet because I'm waiting on thermal paste and some alcohol wipes to clean off my all-in-one when I take it off the current CPU. But I got the 7800 3DX, and I got new 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM, some G.Skill RAM, and then I got a new hard drive as well. Actually, went with like a 4 gig so I can just have way more space. Just spending all of my money. It's fine. But it'll be a nice upgrade. What else did I get? Yeah, that's it. RAM, and I got some gigabyte motherboard my buddy sent me that he said was great. So yeah, it'll be a nice upgrade, and probably take my old system and my old like bare bones components and send it to a friend of mine that's got an older computer. He needs an upgrade. Super 130 FPS, all max settings. No, wait, what's up, Jack? In the hills of Mississippi? Oh, I'm already... Okay. Lay airstrip 2 NCO. That sounds familiar. Possibly a fit weekend. Oh, for the weekend. For the weekend, I assume you mean? Let's see what is available here where I loaded into. I took the one that Brew said because he has Brew in his name, and I can do that for the next one. Yeah, for next weekend. You can check it out today too. Let me copy that into my notes here. All right, let's see what we got. Let's do the air taxi thing. Let's get some passengers here. to not a totally major airport. And I'll get FSHud going. And this is like a nice balance between the seriousness of VATSIM and the casualness of the weekend, like group flight stream. Oh, known for being challenging. To take off from or to fly into? Seoul. I might upgrade next year. 5800X. Yeah, I was on the 5900X, and it seems like every game is now CPU single thread limited. My buddy told me the 7800 3DX is the best option for games that are single thread limited, like Microsoft Flight Sim and Star Citizen. So I went with that one. I trust him. We'll see how it goes. Just finish up flying out the Black Square. Wait, the Baron? Is there a Baron? I didn't know Black Square made a Baron. I thought it was just the King Air, the 208, and the 850. All right, let me... Oh, they do have a Baron. Oh, I had no idea. That's probably while I was gone playing Destiny for 9 months. 5800X3D. We'll eventually go 7800. Nice. I think I'm probably behind the times, or I'm probably still behind the times for most people because I'm on 5900X. I'm on like last chipset, so my motherboard can't do anything more than this pretty much. All right. Why is it so hard for me to just pick one of these? It doesn't really matter. Let's see. This one is going... This is a pretty short hop. 125 nautical miles. Let's find something that's, say, around greater than 150. And then we definitely want one leg and cargo. This is going to very much limit... Okay, we got two options here. We can go south to KENL. We've been here before. Centralia, I've totally been there before. Then KCEW, Bob Sykes. All right, I don't think I've done Bob Sykes. We're going to take 2 passengers to Bob Sykes. Is that chat easier to see? That looks a lot easier to see. Okay. It looks like your guys' names aren't as cool looking with this chat version. There needs to be a combination. I'll have to like write a little CSS to clean up the other version. I think it's a little bit easier to read. Definitely easier to read the messages there. Make it a little smaller. You'll love it, Kip, when you get your system up. Yeah, I didn't realize until like talking to you guys on a regular basis how out of date my system was. And also last night playing Star Citizen with my buddy Mike, he was like doing an FPS check. He's like, I'm getting 130 FPS right now, just standing still looking at basically nothing. And I was like, I'm getting 55. I was like, wait, what? He also has a 4090, not a 4080, but still, I'm very, very limited, it seems like, by my CPU. Mrs. Tango, and you were going to Centralia for the solar eclipse. Oh, nice. Are you just making that up? Like you guys always make up where you live and stuff like that, and where your uncles live? Or are you serious? I'll never believe any of you ever again. All right, that is set. Wow, this music is so epic for the lack of what's happening right now. You upgraded to 7700 too, so awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'll build it tomorrow night, and then I'll have it for the stream on Thursday. Assuming that my thermal paste gets here tomorrow. It was supposed to get here tonight, and I was debating whether to try to build this in like 30 minutes. It would never happen, right? Installing Windows alone will take like 2 hours. Where are we starting? We are at... where are we at? It was what Brew recommended. KTVC. TV City. America TV City. KTVC. TV City. It's the phonetic alphabet. How do I do this again? Let's go. Right, I need to go here and start the flight first. I do have fast internet, thankfully. Yeah. I have fiber. We have 500 up and down here. And good old Los Angeles, pretty good fiber here. And then here's the Piper. All right, Piper, prepare the flight. Oh, speaking of presidents, I did watch that landing at SFO. Was it Josh that sent that link earlier? That was just awesome. Looks like that guy's channel was kind of popping off a bit during the landing. He was like, I think I'm the only one streaming this. It's like, good for you, man. People found you. All right, over to SimBrief. Let's load this in. KTVC, TV City, of course. To CEW, the Computer Electronics Warehouse. TV City to Computer Electronics Warehouse in the Piper M500. Wow, that is quite the route. Oh man, should I do VORs? No, that would take absolutely forever. Look at all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 VORs, and then one RNAV fix called UFDA thrown in there just to throw me off. All right. Wait, this is the wrong. Wait, this is not right at all. We're not going to KMGM. What is this? What is this route? What happened? KCEW. SimBrief dispatch. Did I click something wrong? What the? No, no way. Did I really pick an 839 nautical mile trip? Oh no, I messed up. I picked an, why is there an 800 nautical mile trip? Oh no. All right, let me go pick another one. It's just how it always works out. I always like think I'm gonna be fast. I'm like, all right, this is the stream where I'm very snappy in figuring out which on-air company mission to grab, and everything will just be very fast. And that's just not the case. All right, let's try this again. One leg missions only. I could consider 2 legs, I guess. We might not make it over to Fish's spot, but this might reduce the planning a bit. This one's 279 nautical miles. How about this one? TV City to RHI, and then oh no, it's TV City to EKM, which is Elkhart, then Elkhart to RHI, Rhinelander, Oneida County. Just as fast as figuring out the bush trip flight. Ouch. Not sure I'd enjoy the snappy kip stream, to be honest. JJ says, did you see the failed landing where a small plane overshot a runway and hit a car? No. I have not seen that. If you could throw it in Discord, I would love to check it out later. That sounds terrifying. I hope there weren't any fatalities or anything. That sounds horrible. This one looks pretty good, right? 279 nautical miles, 2 trips. It's only cargo, though. That's kind of boring, right? Oh, no, wait. It says 4 passengers. Sorry. Yeah, let's try. Let me try this one. Oh, low clouds over the Great Lakes? Dude, I hope so. I hope we have... Oh, no serious injuries. Awesome. The video's amazing. It's... Yeah, Bronco Lirio. Yep. The Juan Brown. I love his channel. He's just very... Yeah, it's a great channel. I like how he signs off and just says, see ya here. Like, who else says that, dude? You are yourself, sir. All right. Ken on the flight 05. So this one is going to RHI. So I'm going to abandon this one from before. Grab this one. All right. 2 legs. TVC to RHI. Oh, that's the final destination. But first we need to go... So it looks like we can fly south, or we can fly west and then south, or south and then west, I guess. And since it's 4 passengers, hopefully we can take everyone. 4 passengers, 348 or 46 pounds of cargo. So we'll see if we can load everything up. Bronco Lirio is amazing indeed. I agree. All right, let's try this again. Prepare the M500. Okay, wait, why are there only 2 passengers? What am I doing wrong? What is going on? That was our, yes, sorry, KTVC. TV City is where we're starting. Did I destroy the wrong mission? Oh my god, I'm a mess. Yeah, it's right here. TVC to KEKM, KEKM to KRHI. So why when I go here? Okay, the other passengers must be waiting at KEKM then. Okay, so I guess here, yeah, okay, we only have 2 passengers for now. We're gonna drop 2 and pick 2 more off, so we're not gonna have 4 at a time. All right, got it. And it looks like no cargo. So the second flight will have a little cargo and passengers, it sounds like. Yeah, what Elaine said, 2 + 2. All right, back over to SimBrief. Let's do this again. TV City to the Elastic. Oh man, I'm not good enough at thinking of words that aren't the actual phonetic words. The Elastic Kellogg Manufacturing manufacturer. I don't know what I'm talking. KEKM, KTVC to KEKM, Piper M500. It's auto filling this stuff for us. Our route just goes over 1 airport. Okay. That is so boring that we're going to just do it. 1 waypoint. Really going to be putting that SimBrief integration in the M500 to work on this flight. 26,000 feet for our expected altitude. All right, I'm getting that loaded into FSHud over here. All right, all imported. Looks like we're flying with a call sign of 21 Echo this time. All right, let us pull back the, to import SimBrief data. It's got our fuel in there. It's got us set at 848 pounds of fuel. It's got our destination. Wait, what? Crew managed by the operator, right? This is loaded. Okay, yeah, I'm good, right? Validate fuel and payload, all right. All right, sweet, that's done. I don't know if I had to, I don't know. I'm out of my element. What's happening? You're out of your element, Donnie. All right, fly now, minus 10 hours. And then we can get this loaded in using the EFB. Keep it cool, man. KI, keep it cool, man. Kilo Tango, Kilo Michael. Keep everyone captive. Mad. All right, auto set fuel. I have off. And then in here, we're going to go and load in the SimBrief, flight plan, import, go over to ground ops and start loading in real time. I wish there was an expedited one as well. I know you can't have everything, but that would be nice. Let's take the covers and the chocks off. Let's get the cabin door open, get the GPU connected, and also remember to not disconnect the GPU. All right, GPU is coming online. I see Soul and Josh here. Keep excellent Kip movies. Keep the extra kegs managed. That's a good one. All right, that's all connected. And let me make sure here, 2 passengers. Oh, I can't see it now. But it should bring 2 passengers. The fuel is arriving. No red carpet this time. We don't want to get the carpet dirty. Let's go to pre-flight, make sure everything is okay. Everything checks out with an okay status here, so we don't have to do any maintenance on our tires or engine or anything. And I don't know that we need the charts. This is just, it's got 1 waypoint we're flying over. No passengers on board. We'll make sure that they're smoking the entire time. All right, let me try to remember how to turn this thing on. So, Turn the battery on first as if we're doing a battery start here. Idle and idle. Takeoff config, alternator off. Let me try this head track. Even with the head tracking, I'm gonna be hitting hotkeys, so I think the head tracking is like only useful for when you're actually flying. All right, and then we're gonna leave this alone. I'm not gonna do any tests. Turn the fuel pumps in the ignition to manual. Push start. Soul says, is there a way to turn off ATC entirely? Yeah, I mean, you can go into the sound settings. So like hit escape, go to general options, and then under sound. And I just turn off ATC text to speech, just set to off. If you ever turn it on again, you'll probably want to set it to Azure. Unless you want super weird robotic or childlike voices, then you'll set it to offline instead, which uses your local system instead of like the cloud for it. All right, introduce the fuel. Prop is rising, ITT is rising. 702 was the max. Okay, the door's ajar, whatever. The passengers aren't here yet. We're starting it up before they get here, it's fine. They're gonna be cool, no complaining from them. All right, and that's stable, 63.8. And I'll turn these back to auto, that to off, avionics, generator, alternator. Probably did those all in the wrong order. All right, flight plan is in there. Fuel in balance. Oh, whoops. I started up while the fuel was going, didn't I? Oh. What is wrong with me tonight? What am I doing here? I'm so not used to the I was like, I'm just gonna get this started up so fast. I think I'm just gonna shut this thing off. I'm just gonna shut this off. What have I done? Oh my god. The guy's in the middle of fueling it up and I am so sorry, fuel truck dude. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just so excited to fly this beautiful airplane. What am I supposed to do? Oh, where'd he go? What? He just literally disappeared. It says the passengers are boarding the vehicle. Where? I think I messed the whole thing up. All right, well, they're boarding the vehicle, so they'll be here soon. All right, now let's get it started up again. All right, manual, battery on, starter on. Let's try this again. He flew down the runway, start up the engine, go outside and light up a smoke. Yes, the normal order of operations. All right, NG is rising. Prop RPM, oil pressure 77, introducing the fuels. Why did it just move my camera up there? Nobody knows. All right, let's try this again. ITT 700. All right, we're still fine there. NG's at 53, 54. All right, fuel pump to auto, ignition off. Generator and alternator on. Forgot the nav light. Avionics on. Let's get this guy started again. Should have just left it running. I was a little worried about that fuel imbalance. It would probably balance itself out, right? This thing is smart. It's gonna get our flaps down already. I'm not forgetting anything this time. All right, GPU can go away. All right, passengers are almost here, 51 seconds. What is it screaming about? Stop. It's okay. It's okay. I want the door ajar as they arrive so they get their hair blown back by the prop. Where are they at? Oh, here they come. I want a random setting for the vehicle. The more randomization, the better. All right, here they come. Here they are. Oh yeah, it is too bad other people can't see the passengers. That would be cool. Delta's just going crazy with the phonetic stuff. He's got the entire route. The gorgeous colors on the SUV. That's pretty nice. I don't think I'd ever get a red car in real life myself, but I like it. I'm too boring. I would just get black or silver. My last car was like super dark gray. All right, suitcases of very good colors in the suitcases. All right, looks like they're in. Looks like they're in. I probably want to get the bleed air on, get this on, get our AC. Oh, excuse me, dog. Get our AC going. We have the dog in the front just for passenger comfort. Turn this to low. All right, flaps are already set. Okay, I think we're good here. Solid. Oh, that's good. We'll wait for the taxi. It says that I need corrections in the flight plan for FSHud, so looks like for some reason it didn't bring in the direct KMBL. Compatible segment not found. Interesting. It wants me to fly a SID, it says. Let me just try to import it again. Maybe it's just being difficult. Which is really never the case, but it's gonna restart FSHud off, back on. Weird, it's not letting me pull in the flight plan anymore. What is going on? KTVC, KMBL, KEKM. And it says for KMBL, compatible segment not found. Okay, let me see what our runway was. I think what it is it doesn't like that our waypoint is another airport. That's what it's yelling about. All right, so I just put an MBL instead, which is the VOR. So I'm just going to change this to MBL, assuming that there's a VO. Oh no, that's not right at all. Oh no, not good. Why is there's just always a Keck. Why is there always a problem? All right, there's not always a problem, but I think what we're finding is a limitation of FSHud that I've never run into, because generally we have some kind of SID or star. So let me back out and see if there is a SID or a star available, so it'll be happier. Yeah, there are no arrivals. I mean, these airports are too small. Yeah, no procedures at either airport. So if we turn on the cursor and go down to where Kimball is, KMBL, and zoom in, turn the detail up, there is an MBL. All right, so why did we not find duplicates, or did I skip past it? Let's try it as a new waypoint, maybe that's why. So let's put MBL here. Mike Bravo Lima. No, that's wrong. Nope, it only has one in the database, I guess. All right, let's try something else. Let's try that waypoint I saw right next to it. And of course, there we go, cursor again. Let's go all the way down here. There is an RNAV fix right next to it. CACNO. CACNO. Let's add CACNO. Okay, that works. All right, then clear that. And then I'll go edit my flight plan. Got it. All right, it's in there. We did it. Let's get clearance. Whew.
Traverse City Ground, November 7th, 521 Echo, parking 2, request clearance to El Park with information Bravo.
All right, let's bring this selected altitude up to 26,000.
521 Echo, clear to El Park, runway 28, fly runway heading, climb and maintain flight level 250, squawk 3751.
All right, we got runway 28.
Runway 28, fly runway heading.
Runway heading.
Flight level 250.
And flight level 250 instead of 260. Press enter for dupes. Yeah. Wait, did it say press enter for dupes? Wait, really?
Will report when ready. November 7th, 521.
Hold on. Did something change with the G1000 since I last used it? What was that one called? MBL, was that it? MBL. Oh, press enter for dupes. Oh, that's why I never got to it, is because I always press enter. Oh no, I'm the worst. All right, well that's fine. I'm just gonna keep CACNO in there because I already got it in FSHud. You guys, thank you guys. I don't think I've ever done that where I've like looked at it and been like, wait, there are no more waypoints. I usually type it, hit enter right away. But this time, and I always see the dupes menu. But this time I just typed it, and because I saw it zoom the map to somewhere totally different in the world, I was thrown off by that. Saved. Saved by Liam, thank you. At least I know next time. I should know that. How dare you correct the G1000 person? Jeez. Yeah, that was, I don't know if I think I'm like, I don't know if that means I'm better than I used to be or worse. Well, worse that I didn't realize you hit enter for dupes, but better in that I was like double checking the waypoint while I was typing it instead of just instantly hitting enter, which I think is what I did, what I used to do is just type it and just hit enter right away, assuming it was the correct waypoint. And now maybe I'm trying to save myself here, save my mistake here by making an excuse that says, oh no, really, it's because I was typing it and verifying the waypoint before just hitting enter randomly. Anyway, thank you, Liam. All right, that's all set. I'm gonna go to CACNO instead, CACNO. That is set. We need 25,000 in our flight level. It's gonna take about 25 minutes to turn the altitude selected indicator all the way up there. Passengers are on and potentially complaining, but that's fine. We'll give them their cigarettes and coffee in a minute. Hopefully they make this altitude selection knob do some acceleration things so we can get up to higher flight levels faster, or just any higher altitude faster. 25,000. Look at those numbers fly. This is why I really needed to do the update the system. All right, 25,000 done. 3014. All right, I'm just grabbing the local baro. Doors ajar, pitot heats off. All right, we'll request pushback and startup.
Traverse City Ground, November 7th.
Flaps are already set. Let's set
pushback and
our
startup.
pitch trim. Nose up a little bit.
November 7521 Echo. Pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved.
All right, then we're going to go
7521
heading,
Echo.
flight level change, 110. And we'll try to raise it up to 140. Once we take off, get the rudder trim set. 2 to the right. And I'll watch that on the climb. All right, pushback and startup approved. Now let's request taxi. Let's bring up our documents here, our diagrams. All right, tell them to get their seatbelts on. Serve them snacks and coffee, even though it's going to fly all over the place. They'll be happier. All right, departure. There's our METAR 3014. Winds are 200 at 10. So it'll be runway 28 for departure. So we'll have a little crosswind from the right. All right, then let's go to charts. Just star the parking info for this one and parking info for this one. All right, so remember the FBO runway 28 is way over here, 7,000 foot runway. Sometimes FSHud will give us a intersection departure, like maybe they'll give us Delta 2 or Delta 3. We're expecting Charlie to Delta and then probably an intersection for runway 28. So let's hit taxi clearance.
November 7th, 521 Echo. Request taxi.
Let's go up here and get our taxi light on.
November 7521 Echo. Taxi to holding point runway 28 via Charlie Bravo.
Taxi to holding point runway 28 via Charlie Bravo. November 7th, 521 Echo.
So it just says via Charlie Bravo. So Charlie, and then it doesn't have the right thing, and it didn't say an intersection, so that should mean full length. We'll see how that goes. Okay, and that is to our a little to the right, and then we'll turn to the left. All right, parking brake is off. Oh, is the door open? Wait. I am so good at this game. I mean simulator. I'm just a little off tonight. Just a little bit. Nothing to see here.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
All right, let's pull back and see if I can see the map, or see the taxiway diagram here. All right, runway 28 Charlie Bravo. So we're going down this way. This is kind of crazy tower right in the middle here. We're gonna hang a left here. And it doesn't have the right taxiway names, but we'll assume that this is Bravo. It's actually Delta, but they're calling it Bravo. I see people on multiplayer. Are you guys having issues? I see Kevo. I see Jewel to my right. Still here? Okay, nice. Is someone besides me having multiplayer issues this time? Oh, I don't see anyone behind me though. Oh no, I see Loki and Josh over there. All right, and then runway heading. So we're doing 28, so I'm going to change my heading bug to 280 for now. 280, there we go. Alright, and FSHud's showing, it shows like where to go and how long to go in that direction, like a little like waypoint. It just says straight ahead, 800 more feet, so it looks like it's intending for us to do full length. Oh, actually, am I on live weather? I don't think I am. Oh, I am on live weather, okay. Yeah, FSHud should pull it from the METAR when it's pulling the info. Actually, I don't know how the FSHud, how it determines the runway. If it's based on the Sim's weather or it uses its own or not, I'm not really sure. It does have ATIS support, but I don't know where it gets the data from when it pulls in its ATIS info. I imagine it probably just pulls it from the Sim though. Yeah, it said it was 280 and they gave us 28.
November 7521 Echo. Contact Traverse City Tower 124.2.
It could also be, if I check the SimBrief flight plan, it could be that SimBrief chose that runway for us. Let's see. SimBrief chose 18, and yeah, it's giving me 28 with FSHud, so this will be fun. All right, I'm gonna hit ready for departure.
Traverse City Tower, November 7521 Echo, runway 28, ready for departure.
November 7521 Echo. Line up runway 28.
All right, line up 28.
Line up runway 28, November 7521 Echo.
All right, let's get the strobe and the landing light on. Turn both of these to manual fuel pumps and
November
ignition, and get the taxi light off.
At 9 knots, runway 28, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, 9 knots, 20, so, or that's going to be from our left then. All right, we're cleared for takeoff. Oops, over-torqued it. Alright, 60 knots. 70 knots. Center line is great here. I'm doing it. 85 almost. I was holding my ailerons into the wind during that just to try to help counteract the wind. Alright, gears up. Flaps are still 20. Alright, they said fly runway heading, so we're going to do that. Alright, flaps coming up to 5 degrees. Alright, flaps all the way up. It's 500 AGL. Alright, autopilot's on, yaw dampers on. Let's change these to auto. Auto ignition, auto fuel pumps. Landing light, okay. Flying runway heading, 1,700 feet. And we're going to listen to them for our first instruction on heading mode. Might be a little off from the runway. I didn't actually sync my runway heading bug there. 279, we're 1 degree off. We got 1 degree to the left. All right, 2,700 feet. 2,000 AGL. It just said fly runway heading, so we continue to runway heading. We just have one waypoint on this flight to Cacno. Let's try this head tracking thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust this because I don't want to turn my head any more than like this. Yeah, with a microphone in front of your face, or like a stationary microphone, this is hard because if I do this while I'm talking, now I'm talking to the side instead of it. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird. All right, they still have told us nothing. We need a heading here. Get us on course. Something. Maybe they're like waiting for us to leave the airspace or something. Alright, flaps are up. Gear is up. Pressurization is rising here. PSI is rising. Let's get these yokes back. Pitot heat's off. 6 degrees. I'm gonna turn pitot heat on now. I'll actually do the stall heat as well. It'll say inhibited until it gets to a certain altitude, I think. I think FSHud has failed. Yeah, it's a little weird. It shows me like a breadcrumb of all the upcoming instructions, and what it says is direct Ayuyi, some waypoint that's 200 nautical miles away. Yeah, I agree with you. Something is weird. All right, I'm just gonna make the left-hand turn. FSHud failing today. All right, left-hand turn, GPS mode or nav mode's on standby. And let's change our flight level change speed up a little bit. I think it recommends 140 for the cruise climb. Actually, no, sorry, it's 120 if we're going above 18,000, I think it said 120. Let me double check. They had 2 different speeds listing for climb. Okay, 140 to 20,000, 125 above 20,000. So we should do 125. Or whatever our personal preference is. There we go, 125. Alright, flight plan overview. Yeah, it's still just the last thing it said to us was that FSHud said was runway 28 cleared for takeoff. I believe we have moved since then. Looks like our rudder trim is pretty good still. Let's take it out like just a notch. Give it a little more torque. Wow. Right off the bat with this song. It's too early. This is the landing song. This is only the landing song. This song is not allowed to play during climb. We're gonna have to veto that for now. Maybe it'll come back. There are now 90, I think, 8 songs in the playlist. Landing, yeah, landing song initiated, therefore landing initiated. If that song play, oh no, that would be the worst rule. All right, 10,000 feet. Let's do landing light off. Have it on my switch. That would be the worst rule. If that song plays, then I have to land at the nearest airport. All right, turning on the course. You're on VATSIM. The landing song is playing. We're gonna have to divert. This livery is pretty nice. I think I like almost all the liveries for this plane except for it has those weird gradient ones that just look a little bit too much over the top. There's like 2 of them that look very similar too. They're just like this crazy like blue-green gradient. I guess I like a more classic looking color scheme or something like that. Uh-oh, didn't set the transponder. Wait, there's no way that's why it's messed up, right? Let me try putting the code in. That would be nuts. I don't think this is it, but I would be very impressed if that was the problem. I mean, it shouldn't be. We're on the right frequency. They would have said, like, you know, squawk or ident or, you know, tell us to reset our transponder or something. All right, 3751. 14,000 feet already. Oh yeah, the rainbow unicorn livery. It's beautiful. Unicorn releasing some rainbows. All right, passengers still haven't touched their food or their coffee. Let's see if they're angry. They can take their seat belts off, I guess. One of them took their belt off. The other one is a rule follower like me. And it looks like they're just happy. 19.3 degrees. So as we get higher, I'm going to have to turn it more towards warm. Let's give it a notch here and there. I don't know what's up. FSHud is usually really good. I also usually don't have to change the flight plan that I put in. Usually whatever SimBrief has is fine. This is just a maybe too simple of a route or something. So I just put in direct to that single waypoint and then direct to the destination. And I want to check the pre-flight, see if I messed up the engine at all. I think if I go to maintenance, I can check the actual status of the engine. Oh, only when we're on the ground. Okay. That is fine. Well, it shows the engine status is okay here, but I did like over torque it just a little bit on the takeoff roll. All right, 16,000 getting ready for standard. FSHud knows beyond ATC's coming out. It's scared. Freezes up. There was that other one too. Oh, what was that other one called? There's another one that just came out of nowhere. Was it Sky something ATC? That's basically the same thing that Beyond ATC is doing. But it seems like with less hype, or people just didn't know about it until recently. I remember, I think I heard about it a week or two ago and I checked out the site, but it was not as hyped up as Beyond ATC. Different marketing teams, I guess, or something. But it looked good too. I remember watching a YouTube video on the other one, Sky whatever. I'll try both of them. Doesn't matter to me. As long as they're coming out, I will give it a shot. Oh, it's Smart Sky, right? I think. Yeah, this was there's an article posted on msfsaddons.com October 19th called Smart Sky. It says they made a pre-release demo, AI, United States only, supports all Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airports, Delta class airports. It says covers all positions including clearance, ground tower, approach, departure center, and Unicom. Creators are looking to add lessons to the experience and considering doing GA IFR. Oh. Haven't expressed much interest in commercial IFR. Wait, what? What is it for then? Is it only for VFR? Oh, VFR focus ATC system. Maybe that's why. VFR focused. Still worth giving it a shot though. I think that might be good. I forget if Beyond ATC is doing any VFR stuff. If they plan to, or if they're going to in the future, or not at all, I have no idea. But if there is a difference there, it might be nice to try both if one is more VFR focused. I never fly VFR, so that'd be a cool challenge to get back into doing some VFR stuff. Paying attention to airspace, remembering how to contact like a Bravo, and request clearance, request clearance to enter the airspace, stuff like that, or stay above or below the shelves, all that kind of stuff. When we did that flight from San Luis Obispo to Santa Barbara last week, I remember doing it IFR, and it felt a little silly. So it was like clear weather, short distance. It's just what I know, so it's what I'm comfortable with, even though it's, I guess they're probably about an equal amount of work. All right, I forgot that standard barrow. There we go. And let me bring this up just so we see. Let's look up the airport info. Hey, Clark, what's going on? Let me look up the chart for the destination here. See the airport elevation. 778, so call it 800. So we want to be at like 2,300 feet for like a pattern altitude. 1,500 AGL. So I'll put in 2,200 down here just to get a rough idea. Or 2,300, I guess. Rough idea of when we'll need to descend. I'm going to try something with FSHud does have some decent like resume capability, so I'm going to cancel my flight with FSHud. Then I'm going to select a flight. And then start it. And then I can hit a button that says resume to current situation. And I put in the VOR this time instead. So things were going direct to MBL. So I'm going to switch over to that. So I'm going to go down here and put in MBL. I'm going to hit enter to get the duplicates because I definitely knew and know how to do that, and that's the expectation. There we go. And now I'm just going to go direct. Actually, yeah, I'll go direct to MBL. But then I'm going to, yeah, I'll just go direct to MBL. That's fine. All right, let's see if it picks up the ATC again once we get a little closer. Yeah, it looks like it's tracking us now. It's expecting us, yeah, direct to MBL. But then it says flight level 220. All right, I'm going to hit altitude hold. And then I'm going to go descend now to 22,000. Flight level 220. Just because that's what FSHud's saying. All right, 220. 1,000 feet per minute. Watch our speed. I can do like 1,500. What's our ground speed? 166. 166 times 5 gives us 830. So I guess I should do more like 1,000. More realistic. Probably get to that waypoint before we get to 22,000 feet though. All right, and then at our destination we have, it looks like 4 runways. Both of them are long enough, 4,000 foot and 6,500 foot runways. The AWAS is 124,475. I'll put that over in COM 2. 124,475. All right, I'll just leave that in there. So right, 24,475. 24,475. And it's not necessarily going to be supported by FSHud. We'll find out. And it looks like we can expect some more instructions from them. Hey, Omar, what's up? KCEW. We're going to KEC M. You may be familiar with the Kek W emote, but this is Kek M. Soul says the leg I'm heading towards is Peacock. Oh, it seems like I'm going a different way. I'm pulling it to idle. Wasn't watching my speed like I said I was gonna. Alright, well, we're at 22,000 already. Alright, let's get that speed back up a little bit. Oh, that sound is terrifying. The last time that happened, it ended the flight when we were flying into, or like north of San Francisco. We were flying up to Napa or something when I first flew this. And on the descent, with aircraft stress damage on, I just overspeeded it. I think I got up into the barber pole though. And then, yeah, that was the end of the flight. Yeah, it overspeeds really fast. Alright, our pressurization looks good. 7146 on the altitude, cabin altitude. Let's check our passengers' temperature here. They're not super happy. They're thirsty and hungry a little bit, so more coffee. More snacks, bam. And they're good on seatbelts. I don't need them on. 19.6 degrees Celsius. It's probably a little warm, right? 19 Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's 66 Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, we want it up to like 21, don't we? Turn that up a few notches. They're not complaining, but that seems pretty cold. Autopilot's supposed to point the nose up if you get to yellow to prevent overspeed. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would have saved me for sure. Especially at that flight north of San Francisco we were doing that one day. That was not a great ending to the stream. It was the last flight of the day. I was like, oh. All right, 1 mile until we get to MBL. What is the name of that VOR anyway? Manistee? The Manistee VOR? And we should hear from ATC there. We'll see. Like right now? ATC? Oh, we're still on Traverse City Tower. That's the problem. Let me switch. Oh, it didn't auto change. No, it changed back to the tower. What the? Well, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I switched the frequency. Like FSHud has a list of frequencies as well, kind of like how Microsoft Flight Sim does when you can pick from a list in the ATC chat window. And so I clicked on like Milwaukee departure and it switched me right back to ground. Oh, there we go. Oh no, yep. It keeps going back to Traverse City Tower. Or not ground, but tower. Traverse City Tower. That's what I meant. Yeah, it keeps auto switching back to that, so. Not great. I wonder if it just gets confused when we don't have enough waypoints or something like that in the flight plan. Or man, like even if you don't have a sit and a star maybe? I'm not sure. But for some reason it does not like this flight plan at all. Emphasis is on the first syllable. Traverse? Is that how you say it? Traverse or traverse? Traverse? ATC lady said it incorrectly. Oh, the which ATC? The FSHud ATC? I assume that FSHud ATC says everything incorrectly. I mean, it looks like the word traverse. So I guess I just read it that way. Traverse. Well, I better say it right because Josh's uncle lives there, right? Or is it Mike's uncle? Several of your guys' uncles and family members and you live there, so I'll watch my mouth, watch my pronunciation. Let's sync that heading bug up. And ice protection should still be on, right? We're at negative 25. I got stall heat and pitot heat on. Little bit of cloud cover coming up here. Oh, you played Destiny there. My bad. You just went there, rented a PC at the airport. That would be so cool if there was why don't they have like Microsoft Flight Simulator set up in airports on like Xbox? Like the word travel. It's my uncle. Traverse. It's traverse? Like travel? Traverse? Traverse. I don't know how they would write it to sound like traverse. Anyway, so it makes sense. How else could they have spelled it? All right, top of descent. Let's see. 18 minutes. ATC is doing nothing, so I'm just going to go down to 2300. Actually, let's just check the weather. Let's just figure out our own. Let's put in a visual approach or see if there are any approaches available. So let's see. Flight plan, arrival. Winds are 150 at 3. And for the charts, 150. There's an ILS on 27. But if we want to be a little better with the winds, there's a runway 18 GPS. Let's see what this is. We got an LPV. It is a LNAV only. So LNAV with minimums are 500 AGL, 503 AGL. Should do this one. Let's see if it's in the database. The RNAV for 18, and this would be one of the smaller runways. I think this is the 3999 runway, like 4,000 foot runway. Let's see if we got runway 18 in the database. We do. LNAV plus V. And then we're coming from the north, so it looks like Kekmu is good for us. If we were a little more east, we could do Sibip, or looks like Ventu way out to the east. Let's see what's actually available here. Yeah, Kekmu and Kekmu. All right, let's do Kekmu. Fly reversal, no, because we won't need it. We're coming in from the north, so we'll just start descending as soon as VNAV says to. And then we'll put in the minimums 1280. It's an MDA, so we cannot bust 1280. Shift scroll wheel trick for this. Doesn't work on the altitude knob, unfortunately, in this plane. 1280, I'm just going to put it up to give us 50 extra feet. And then we're just going to activate this because we're at our last waypoint in the flight plan already. We're just going direct to the airport, so we're going to go direct to Kekmu now. All right, nav mode is still on. Nice, and then it's got us down. Final approach fix, 2400. I had put in 23 for kind of a pattern altitude. But 2400, and let's get our VNAV set up. 13 minutes for the descent. And we have 13 minutes to roll the altitude selection knob 100 feet at a time, all the way down to 2400 feet. Runway 8 is a really small. 1.8 is really small. I think it was 4,000 feet, right? Let me double check it. All right, we started that. Airport info. 1.8. Yeah, there we go. 4,000 feet. That's good enough for us. Should be good. VNAV tells you when to start descending. Yep. Yeah, if you have VNAV altitudes in the G1000, so these altitudes here, the blue ones are VNAV altitudes. If there's a white one, then that's generally like a predicted altitude. Like if you're going to be in a climb or a descent, it'll predict what altitude you'll be at when you cross each waypoint in the flight plan. You could also just set the altitude yourself. You could actually set an altitude for a airport. For the airport, for your if the airport is your last waypoint, you can set the altitude on that waypoint as well. Just by scrolling over to it, kind of like this, how I'm doing it with the big knob. Generally, when you load in a procedure, though, these altitudes are going to be coming from the database. So, just like when we look over here at the chart, here's the chart for this approach. So this is the approach, GPS approach for runway 18 at this airport. And if we look down here, these altitudes, 2,500 and then 2,400. This is a pretty simple one, but this is where those altitudes come from that we see in the G1000 over here. So it is good practice, like if you want to be realistic about it, to verify the altitudes and the waypoints are both correct. So it goes Kekmu 2,500, Kadva 2,400. So if we look over here, we have those two, Kekmu, and then 2,500 is a restriction, Kadva 2,400. And that's our final approach fix. That's the last waypoint we'll be at a specific altitude generally, if there's vertical guidance especially. And then from there on, we're responsible after that point ourselves. But even though this is an LNAV approach, which is a GPS approach that doesn't give us like actual vertical guidance as part of the approach, the Garmin, so if the approach gave us vertical guidance, that guarantees clearance from all obstacles on that approach while you're descending. So like an ILS will take you all the way down to 200 feet AGL. This one has higher minimums because it's an LNAV approach. It does not give us vertical guidance. So anything below 503 feet AGL or 1280 right here, 1280 on our altimeter, we will not have guaranteed obstacle clearance below that altitude. So that's why we're required to visually see the runway at that point. Yeah, okay. You probably understand a lot of this, sorry. But yeah, with VNAV, when you load it in, it's going to load in those altitudes for you. And then, so I'm just going to set it up now. I'm going to bottom out at 2,400. We're not listening to ATC because it's not working right now. So in this case, I'm just going to let it. Oh, there it is.
Runway 28, ready for departure.
That's the AI that I injected in.
90772.
But it's talking to them, but it's not talking to us. Anyway, all I have to do for VNAV is give it permission with selected altitude to go that low, and then just hit the VNAV button. So I'll keep rolling that altitude down, but you can see VPath right here. So that is ready to start our descent as soon as we get to that top of descent point that it's calculated for us.
90772, wind 206 degrees at 9 knots, runway 28.
You know, little understand. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's not very complicated. It's just once you know, you know, the altitudes have to be in the flight plan, and then you can, you know, assuming the autopilot has VNAV, has a VNAV button like this, and most of them will in Microsoft Flight Sim, especially if it has a G1000, it's going to have VNAV pretty much every time. Yeah, I'm just bringing this all the way down to 2,400. And it'll actually bottom out at each altitude. So if we had a more complicated approach, or like an arrival procedure or something, say it had like 20 different altitudes we follow all the way down. If we're cleared all the way down to the bottom altitude, you know, we're going to listen to ATC and put in what our actual allowed lowest altitude is during the descent at each step of the way. But if you ignore ATC or you get permission to just fly the star or fly the approach, when you get cleared to just descend via the star, descend via the arrival, descent or cleared for the approach, those all mean fly the altitudes that are published in the chart and, you know, therefore in your flight plan. Then you can just fly all the way down to the lowest one as it says to. But VNAV will follow all of those, just the way it follows your waypoints automatically for your lateral navigation. to be in the right place in space, your X and Y coordinates basically, then, your altitude will be managed by VNAV in the same way. It'll abide by all of those restrictions going all the way down, step by step by step. So in this case, since there's only 2 of them anyway, but since we're not listening to ATC and they're not talking to us, we're just going to tell it to just step us all the way down on its own. And it'll just do all that for us. So yeah, once it hits this spot, this TOD marker, it's going to start our descent. And how it does it is it calculates it based on a flight path angle. So it's FPA. And the standard angle is 3 degrees. You've got to have that stuff entered. So a lot of the time, like if you're using a procedure, so if you go to procedure and you're using an approach, arrival, departure, any of those procedures you load in, for the most part, they'll have all the altitudes from the database automatically. So you don't have to enter it yourself. If you can still use VNAV manually though, like if we're not using this approach procedure and I just have like a direct to like one waypoint to another, I could scroll down to that destination waypoint in the list and just add an altitude in order to get some VNAV estimates here and VNAV capability. So I was actually going to do that originally. What I was going to do is just go down to that waypoint that's last in the list, move over to the altitude part, and then use the knobs. You have to use the inner knob first to start setting it. And then you just use the inner and outer knobs one after, like the big one chooses which number to enter, like which position digit to enter, and then the small one defines that digit. So you would just put in the altitude you want to be at that waypoint. It's a little weird because like say you put in the pattern altitude for that airport, say for this one we want to be at 2,400 feet at the airport. That line that it's drawing for your descent means that when you get to that airport, you're actually there, arrived to it already, then you'll be at that altitude. So you won't be at pattern altitude like 3 miles out from the airport or whatever. It'll be at the airport. So you might need to like offset it a little bit. Like say you want to be lower than you actually do. But it'll give you a rough idea of when to descend and all that. You can use it to descend still. A feature that's missing from the G1000 NXI in the sim is like a displacement, like an offset basically. So that would, if it was added in, it would allow you to put in a target altitude and then put in an offset in how many miles from that point to get to that altitude. So you kind of put a little virtual waypoint like, okay, 5 miles out from that waypoint is when I want to be at that altitude. And if you've ever used the 530 or 430, those actually kind of have something like that in their, they have that in their VNAV calculator page. It'll say like X number of miles from a chosen waypoint, be at this altitude, and it'll give you that calculation. But the 530 and 430 do not let you use VNAV like the G1000 does, not with your autopilot. It's just a simple calculator. But if we kind of combine those capabilities, then you'd be able to do that in the G1000. Yeah, I believe the G1000 in real life does have it. I think it's called like offset track or something like that, or maybe just offset. A long track offsets. Yeah, here we go. So this is what it looks like in the G1000 manual. So this isn't inside the sim, but yeah, if it has an along track offset, it's a distance from an existing waypoint entered into a flight plan. So they can be from 1 to 999 nautical miles, and then yeah, so you can see it right there. It says SLN -5 nautical miles. So then you could see the altitude. So you could put in that waypoint to be down at the altitude you want to be at, say for a pattern altitude, a certain number of nautical miles out from that waypoint. So if you set that for, say it was KSLN, say it was an airport right there, you could say 5 nautical miles from the airport, I want to be at this pattern altitude or whatever, and use VNAV to get down to it. And then it would, very precisely have you at that altitude at that virtual waypoint, basically 5 miles from that. But yeah, it looks like Yeah, there's instructions here how to do it. Press the ATK offset soft key. So supposedly that's here when we're entering our waypoints. Actually, we can see it right here. There it is. ATK OFS is right here, but it's grayed out since it's not active. So if the working title team, got around to that and added that feature, that would be really cool to use. So I guess we would highlight the waypoint, press that, it'd give us a little pop-up where we could enter how many miles. But for now, you could just, add a few or subtract a few hundred feet from it, so you would get down sooner. But then you would have to level yourself off. You would just say in this example, I would put like 2,000 feet or something at the, it matters how many miles it is really. You could do some calculations here, like what's your ground speed, how many more miles out would it be to get to that altitude, and then put that in as your destination altitude. So when you're 5 miles out, you would cross 2,400 feet or be at 2,400 feet. You could do that kind of thing. And then just keep your selected altitude at the pattern altitude. So once it got down there, this number would force it to stop descending. Since this is like the hard and fast rule, like you cannot descend below this, or you cannot climb above this, no matter what the autopilot's doing. It has to abide by this selected altitude when it hits it. So yeah, we could put in, I would try something like putting in 2,000 feet or 1,900 feet or something like that.
November 7521 Echo, radar contact.
Hey, they're talking to us.
Proceed direct Mike Bravo Lima, then is 5. Descend and maintain flight level 220.
We're already at 220. All right, well, it picked us up
Mike
eventually.
Bravo Lima, descend and maintain flight level 220, November 7521 Echo.
But it said to go direct Mike Bravo Lima. That's the VOR that we passed like 20 minutes ago. Oh, here we go.
065. Contact Chicago Center 128.5.
All right, well, let's do what they do. Let's do what they say.
Left heading 065, 128.5, November 7.
Wait. No, we're not doing that. That's taking us back. I know what it's doing. It's trying to turn us all the way around. 065.
Chicago
That's over
Center,
here.
November 7521 Echo, at flight level 220.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to them. Yeah, no problem, Soul. I think VNAV is super cool. Like, yeah, it's really powerful. It's really important. I think like I really value stuff like VNAV, even in a smaller, slower plane. Like we're not in airliners, because if you ever do VATSIM and you're doing it in a plane like this, or even a 172 or a 208, all those things help you just get rid of that stress, that workload, and get ahead of everything. So it's just, yeah, it can be really stressful doing VATSIM. So that's what you use those systems and the tech to help you relieve those that workload, especially when you're alone. What's up, Naptown? It's going pretty good. We're just doing a simple flight here, about to start our descent. Quick little OnAir company mission.
Left heading 125, November 7521 Echo.
It took me a very long time to get off the ground, but
November 7521 Echo. Turn left heading 120.
Left heading 120.
Left heading 120, November 7521 Echo.
All right. Let's do what they're saying.
7521 Echo. Turn left heading 110.
Let's see if they're vectoring us for that longer runway. VNAV is already starting to descend us, so...
7521 Echo. Expect ILS.
Okay, ILS 27. Let's switch and do that. We're just going to say ready for descent.
Runway 27. Report when ready.
All right, ILS 27.
7521 Echo.
Let's switch it up here. We're going to choose the only initial approach fix available. I'll fix the...
November 7521
fix that in a little bit.
17,000. Altimeter 3022.
All right, 17,000. Oh, no.
November 7521 Echo.
All right, we're already descending. Set up for the... We're just on the heading they've assigned.
November 7521 Echo. Turn right heading 140.
Okay.
Right heading 140. November 7521
Right, 140. And with the altitude, keep bringing that up. 17,000 and altimeter's 3022, they said.
133.82. 3553.
And let me get the barrel at the same time. 3022.
Contact Minneapolis Center 124.
It's because we're going to descend past the transition altitude anyway. So.
124.2
All right, and I'm in vertical speed mode, so it's not going to change our rate of descent.
Echo. Turn right heading 150.
All right, right
Right heading
150.
150, November 7521 Echo.
All right, so it's going to have us line up for the ILS. So
November 7521
Oh, man.
Echo. Turn right heading 160.
it's a little ridiculous how often this happens, how
Right
fast
heading
these settings happen.
160, November 7521
2 knot
Echo.
tailwind. Yep. Okay, nice. Thanks, Jewel. All right, let's now bring up the chart for the ILS instead.
November 7521
ILS
Echo. Turn
27.
right heading 175.
Right heading 175, November 7521 Echo.
175. Thanks, Autopilot. Or thanks, Copilot. Oh, Dax from Discord. What's going on, man? Haven't been around much. Finally slowing down. Can hang out more.
7521
Awesome.
Echo. Turn right heading 180.
Right heading
Oh, welcome back,
180,
man. Good to see you
November
around.
7521 Echo.
Right, heading 180. Why don't they just give me a waypoint? All right, 180. Let's get in our new minimums in
November
1066.
7521 Echo. Turn right heading 190.
Right heading
190.
190, November 7521 Echo.
And 1066. And they told us to go down to 17,000. All right, 1066 to 1070.
Chicago Center,
1070.
10,000.
There we go. All right, minimums are set. 18,700. We're descending 17,000.
Fly heading 145. Descend and maintain 2,700. Altimeter 3022.
Clean this up with a detail button.
Fly heading 145. Descend and maintain 2,700.
All
291.
right, detail 1. All right, so now we're doing the ILS for
291.
runway
Continue descent
27.
2,600.
Let's double check the localizer.
Continue
Triple
descent
15 should be in our nav.
2,600,
It is
291.
nav 1 and nav 2. Let's get the bearings turned on down here. 1 and 2. We have our minimum set already. We have the altimeter set. We're about to pass transition altitude. And we look at the altitudes. They're going to take us down to 2,500 and then 2,300 after that. So they should give us another descent here in a second. Or they'll just clear us. You know, this was VATSIM. They would just clear us for the ILS at some point. Just meaning follow the whole publish procedure. All right, final approach course is 274. And we still have the AWAS in. So they gave us the altimeter though, so that's fine. I don't know if the AWAS is going to work with FSHud or not. I think maybe only ATIS works at like bigger airports. But we do have it in here just in case it pops up.
November 7521
And I don't think this monitoring does anything with FSHud. All right, 180
Fly
on the
heading
heading.
180, November 7521 Echo.
All right, 180. We're going to need a descent soon. We are... Oh, I don't have distance to go in here. It says 8 minutes though. How do I like the M500? It's incredible. I love it. It is, I would say this is like the equivalent of the Black Square TBM 850 if you want something with a G1000. But they have like failures. It has like the EFB on this thing, this tablet is I think one of the best I've used. It's awesome. It has like maintenance and realism settings. You can turn on failures. You can do that with Black Square as well, do the little weather radar thing. But it has passengers. It's like a mini GSX where you get passengers that pull up and a fuel truck that pulls up.
Continue descent
It's awesome.
2,200, November
And it should be on
7521
Xbox in the coming like the next week or two supposedly. All right, descend down to 2,200.
November 7521 Echo. Fly heading 185.
Echo. Fly heading 185, November 7521 Echo.
All right, 185. Vertical speed. Let's go 1,000 feet per minute for now, down to 2,200 feet, they said.
November 7521 Echo. Fly heading 195.
This vectoring is ridiculous.
Fly heading 195, November 7521 Echo.
This is an amazing plane for PC, but it's going to be, I would say, a game-changing plane for Xbox. Not just because the plane itself is amazing, but because this is going to be the first plane that has SimBrief and Navigraph support on Xbox. So you can do what everyone on PC has been doing.
November 7,
And bringing up the
521
charts on the
fly heading
G1000, bringing
185.
up the charts over here, just like this.
Fly heading 185.
You know, you'd have to pay for
November
Navigraph, of course,
7521
but at the least, you'll be able to use SimBrief for free and import your flight plan, which programs it in the G1000 automatically for you. It's amazing. Fly heading 185. This vectoring is really bad, though. They should just be like... it's like every 5 seconds, a new heading. The liveries for this are pretty great too. You can see your co-pilot now, whether you use a human or an animal. You can serve snacks to the passengers in the back. It has like passenger comfort rating if you want to look at it, so you can like serve them more coffee and snacks. There we go. These pillows actually move based on, you know, the forces, like the G-force, the acceleration. So you can actually like organize them again. So I can hit the button to organize them back to their original positions, or you can stow them in the back behind those seats. It'll actually put them back there. But they bounce around and like tip over during the flight. So if you're too rough with the plane, like the pillows will be like on the floor. Yeah, the passengers have temperature preferences. You can tell them to put their seatbelts on or not. You can see I turned it off after takeoff, and only one of them is still wearing it, but one of them. Anyway, I'll put it on, see if they both wear it. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm really happy with this plane. I think that, like, if you care about IFR and you like turboprops and you want to use Navigraph and stuff, like this is a must-have for Xbox when it comes out for Xbox. TBM 850. Yep. I think the choice is just, do you want a G1000 or do you want steam gauge with the GNS 530, 430, or the GTN 750? All those work in the TBM. And if you want the G1000, then go for the Piper. And if you want both, then get both. But I think that's the main distinguishing thing between the two of them. Like, that's the number one choice. They're really similar in how they fly. Like, they're both pressurized turbo props that go up to like 30,000 feet. They're both at, you know, cruise at like 200 and something knots. They both have failures. They're both high quality, I would say. Like, yeah. I think if you have to pick one of the two, just pick based on whether you want steam gauge, more steam gauge stuff in the TBM, or more if you want G1000 in the Piper. That's it. You can't make a wrong choice between the two. It's just preference.
November 7521 Echo, fly heading 195.
All right, more headings for
Fly
us.
heading 195, November 7521 Echo.
Now let me go look at our VNAV estimate here. So for ELX, it's saying, like, based on the waypoints in there, 2,500 foot waypoint, we should be going 1,100 feet per minute. I'm only going 1,000, so I'm gonna bring it down to 1,200 just to make sure we're down to their altitude in time, because we are offset from this course a bit. So but what I could do is just go in.
November 7521 Echo, fly
We're in
heading
heading mode, so this
190.
won't matter. So we'll just update
Fly
this.
heading 190, November
There we go.
7521 Echo.
So now it's based on us going directly to this waypoint and then turning. And we're going to need the reversal here. So we have plenty of time to get down. So if I zoom in a little, you can see we're going to have to do the reversal just because of the angle we're coming in. Instead of a... It's either based because of the angle and or because of our altitude. But actually, let's see if we can descend in the reversal. No. So during the reversal, we need to be at 2,500. So we wouldn't go down all the way to 2,300. So anyway, we can descend like during the reversal, but we can't go below 25. And then after that, we have to go down to It says 23 here, but they assigned us 22. And I thought I said no. Didn't I say no for the reversal?
7521 Echo. Turn left heading 180.
Let me just hit the approach again real quick. Did I thought I said... Oh no, I did say no for the reversal. So I think it is... That's so weird. Then here it shows hold. I think we should fly the reversal, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And then I can just use VNAV. So it says our top of descent in a minute, and it's growing, so that means I'm descending too fast. Like if I want to catch up to the VNAV profile. So if I slow down our descent, then that number will go, well, it'll start decreasing. There we go, 107. All right, left heading 175.
Turn left heading 170.
170.
170. November 7521 Echo.
Yeah, it looks like they're just having us go onto this course, so I'm just gonna hit nav mode. Then maybe they'll stop vectoring us. Like they're just vectoring us onto this course that we intended to be on anyway. So. All right.
November 7521 Echo. Fly heading 180.
Fly heading 180.
Yeah, see,
November
180, and now
7521
nav
Echo.
mode is going to turn us to 180 in just a second. Desired track 179.
November 7521 Echo. Turn right heading 185.
Right heading 185. November 7521 Echo.
November 7521 Echo. Turn right heading
You know, Naptown, I
190.
I don't know when I've used the... I don't know when I've used it for a DME arc. I know it can handle them, but I can't say how good or bad it handles them because it's been so long since I've done one of them. But I'm pretty sure it can handle DME arcs. And just knowing working title, it probably works really, really well. I'm just gonna hit the FAQ over here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done something other than like an RNAV. Like an RNAV approach or an ILS. I remember one night, I think off stream, I was like practicing DME arcs, like doing them manually. Watching YouTube videos from, you know, real pilots learning how to do them. It's cool. It took me a few tries, but it's a little confusing with the like the needles, and just like how you're heading and which way to turn the course when you first get there to intercept and start following the arc. Like, yeah, it's definitely tricky. It still sounds scary to me. All right, top of descent, 45 seconds. It's not a true 45 seconds since we're in the descent. I'll make it a little more shallow so we can catch up to it. Take that heading bug. And then if we look over, look at our missed approach procedure, climbing left turn to 2500, and then direct to GSH, which is the Gaussian or Gaussian VOR. And we have the frequency in already. We have the minimums in already. Almost non-existent. Yeah, it's probably hard to find one. I don't know if I've ever gotten assigned one using like any of the ATC programs. Oh, counting is everything. Yeah. What is the strategy? You like time it every... Is it like... You like twist 10... You twist 10 degrees and then turn 10 degrees and then time it and then twist 10 degrees. Wait for it to... Wait for the line. Wait for the CDI to center and then turn 10 degrees. So you're doing this constant like twisting 10 degrees for the course, twisting 10 degrees for your heading, or turning 10 degrees for your heading, you know. If you're using autopilot, you can just go between the course knob and the heading knob, but yeah, there's like a formula to follow to do it. But yeah, still sounds very scary to me.
Niner 869er, ready for descent.
9869er, descend 1000.
Descend 1000, Niner 869er.
Yeah, it looks like this is having us do the hold, even though I thought I said not to do the hold earlier, but it is, I think it's realistic to do the hold, to do the reversal, I mean, here. Just because I don't, yeah, rather not make like the 95-degree right-hand turn or whatever, or 85-degree right-hand turn to just line up with the localizer. Like, I'd rather do the reversal and have time to line up with the localizer and get established. Still going pretty fast too. Okay, we're on our VPAT now, our VNAV, 1100 feet per minute. Pulling back on our throttle. We need to be at, I think it's 168. Is 168 knots in this for the gear and flaps one? 168. All right, then 20 is 135. Full flaps 118. And let's go check the METAR. They gave us one a while back before we started the descent. So let's go here to flight plan,
291,
arrival,
turn right heading 215.
and 3027. So that's what, oh, we're at 3022. Let's do 3027. Technically, we would just do what ATC gave us, but I don't think they're going to update us. And I think this is untowered. Is it untowered? Approach center. Oh no, there is tower there. Okay, there's tower and ground.
291,
I just saw the
turn right
AWAS
heading
earlier and I was like, oh, this is a
255,
smaller
clear
airport,
ILS,
but there's a
approach
tower and a ground frequency. Oh, it says CTAF, that's why.
Report established on localizer.
Yeah, there's an asterisk. So it's not always, it's not always towered. There's not always service, ATC service here.
Report established on localizer 291.
Now let's see what happens with a FSHud to know if it's got a tower frequency or not.
Descent 1000, 44.
Oh, the chart tells you the timing. Got it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've looked at it. I have no idea. I just remember doing the like twist 10, turn 10 thing when I was doing one of them. Look at Jewel is like lit up like a Christmas tree over here, like a Christmas star. Look at VOR runway 15. Oh, KMTN. Is that a DME arc approach? Pilot monitoring. All right, we're still descending. We're at under 5,000 feet now. Going down to 2,200. And our VNAV has 2,200 in it already. But it's not going to go down to 2,200 until after the reversal is done.
November 7521 Echo, fly heading 180.
We're just going to ignore them because they just keep
Flight
putting us on
heading
that course.
180, November 7521 Echo.
So here we can see that like on the chart itself right here, it shows 2,500 during the reversal, this section here. After the reversal, then we can descend down to 23, or in this case 22. Because the glide slope's at about, it says 2178, so the autopilot's thinking it's got using 2,200 instead of 2,300. And with Flight Sim, usually you grab the glide slope like way before the final approach fix anyway.
291, wind 175 degrees at 5 knots, clear to land 26.
Cleared to land 26, 291.
And something else to know about VNAV is, since we've been talking about VNAV, the VNAV in the G1000, it will not work during a reversal. So you cannot say you're still descending once we get to this marker here. Say you still need to descend down to the reversal altitude. To be down at that altitude by the time you're done with the reversal, VNAV will not continue descending you once you cross this point right here. While you're in this hashed like segment here, you'll have to use something like vertical speed mode to get you down. As soon as you cross over that and you're done that waypoint again and you're done with the reversal, then your VNAV's eligible to be used again. But it'll just stop your descent if you have VNAV enabled. It will not take you down any further.
November 7521 Echo.
November 7521 Echo. Turn right heading 260.
Right heading 260. November
They're trying to just bring us
7521
straight
Echo.
in, but we're gonna let it do the reversal.
November 7521 Echo. Turn right heading 285.
Right heading 285.
So you can see it's
November
finishing up our
7521 Echo.
descent. It's going to descend us down to 2,500. And then
November
during the
7521
reversal, it's not going to do
Echo. Turn
anything.
right heading 310.
But we're already at the altitude. If for some reason we crossed
Right
this
heading
waypoint here and we
310,
were still in
November
VNAV mode, but we
7521
weren't
Echo.
at 2,500, we need to switch over to vertical speed mode to get down.
November 7521 Echo.
But
Turn
it's holding
right
us at
heading
2,500 here,
325.
which is correct for that
Right
hold
heading
right here,
325.
2,500.
November 7521 Echo.
139.6. Contact Great Lakes approach 119.2.
119.2, 139.6.
You're landing a 737.
November 7521
You got
Echo.
6,000
Turn
feet,
right
that's
heading
enough, right?
285. Cleared ILS.
How much do you need to
Approach
land
at
that?
2,200. Runway 27. Report established on localizer.
Right heading 285. Cleared ILS. Approach at 2,200. Runway 27. Report established on localizer. November 7521 Echo.
All right, report established on localizer. I have the bearings turned on already. I don't see the needles yet, though. Make sure we have the right frequency again. 111.5. And there it is right there. ILS 111.5 IOUP. Oh, it is showing it here. Okay. We just don't have the green needles yet. Alright, so we're in the reversal now. Just holding 2,500. I can speed up just a little bit. I want to be under our gear and flap speed just so once we're done with the reversal, I can get those down. And then we'll get established on the localizer. We'll hit approach mode on our autopilot so it'll capture the glide path, or the glide slope, I mean, when we're ready. See, it's doing the turn on the... It did kind of fly us to the south, didn't it? I think technically it shouldn't be doing any... It shouldn't go... I mean, it's doing the turn on the protected side, but the way the racetrack is, it shows you like which side you should be doing the turn on. Either, in this case, it would be either, you know, the north or the south side. But it does have us on that side now. Looks like it kind of brought us a little below that, though, to get into the turn.
Flight heading 040, continue descent 2,200, 139.6.
All right, 168 knots. I'm just pulling back a little bit. I'll probably just do flaps 1. I think I'll wait. Let's see, Sauza. So we cross Ayuyi, and then 2.7 nautical miles. Or when we cross it, it's 5.5 miles until Sauza, and then 4.2 miles until the runway. So we have, you know, almost 11 miles once we're done with the hold. So we got quite a bit of time to slow down and get our gear out. So I'm going to wait until we're probably on the localizer until I start getting anything out. Just keep the speed up a little bit. I'm just going to keep it up to like almost 170 just so we're ready. We'll put the gear down when we're ready. This is where VATSIM or ATC might be telling you to like keep your speed up to 170 or 180. And this thing, yeah, we can do 180 right now. If you have a bunch of jets behind you and stuff like that, since most people on VATSIM are flying jets and airliners. There's the runway right over there. And when it finishes this hold, it should auto switch us over to green needles here. If it doesn't, we can hit the CDI button down here to do it for us. To switch it over our nav radio, but it should, there it goes. Alright, now we have glide slope. Green diamond's up there. Go ahead and hit approach mode right here. Glide slope's ready to be captured for vertical guidance. But we should be descending down to 2,200 feet now, and we're not. That's because, if you look over here, VNAV's got our top of descent here. So I'm also going to hit VNAV again It turned off because of the reversal. So we have to re-engage it because I forgot. I mentioned that you can't use VNAV in the reversal, but I forgot that it actually will turn it off when you're in the reversal. So we have to re-engage it to get it to do that other 300 feet we need to descend. But most likely the glide slope will happen like at the same time, like in the sim. So it's not a huge deal, but all right, I'm gonna get my gear down. And VPath just activated itself, so it's starting our descent before we're getting to the glide slope.
Established on localizer.
Good job, co-pilot.
November 7521 Echo. Continue approach.
Continue approach. November 7521 Echo.
All right, so you can see VNAV is taking us down now, down to 2200. Glide slope's a little bit above us still, but it's gonna hold us off at 2200. I get flaps 1. So, whoa, a little bit of lag, of course, on final. 135 for flaps 2, and then 118 for full flaps. All right, and let's get our fuel pump to manual, ignition to manual.
7521 Echo.
Landing light was
Contact
off. Whoops.
119.5.
Co-pilot will get us over to tower.
119.5. November 7521 Echo.
All right, there's a glide slope captured. GS. Sync our heading bug. Our go-around altitude down here is 2500. So we'll set that here. 2500 in case we need go around.
November 7521 Echo.
All right, gotta pull out even more power here to be able to get down to 135 knots. There we go for flaps 2. So this is 20 degrees of flaps. This will slow us down a lot more. The first, oh yeah, 10 is the first one. I thought it was 5 on the first one. 10, 20, 36. All right, now we're in full flap range with the white arc there, the white line on the speed tape. So we're gonna need some more throttle, especially when we put them all in. All right, winds. We have a 6 knot headwind, 11 knots from the left. You can see it's crabbed to the left quite a bit. Let's get our full flaps down. Our minimums are right here, 1070. So we got 500 feet to go before we have to have a visual, but we already do, so turn it off whenever we're ready. All right, then we want 85 for our landing speed is like the general guideline, I think. All right, we're at 100 right now. Sync that heading bug ahead one more time. And let's bring up our taxiway diagram. I didn't click anything, that was weird. There we go. So after we land, it's gonna be a turn off to the right. All right, let's go ahead and get autopilot off. I got a button for yaw damper. Yaw damper is off. All right, 95 knots. We need to slow down a little bit, and winds are now 0, it looks like. 0 and 0, completely calm. I don't have to touch a single thing. A little tight on the ramp. We got some big boys landed over there. Is that the problem? 4 reds. We're actually low on the glide path, but visually it looks good. Yeah, low on the glide path, adding a little tiny bit of power. Very long landing. I should have just not looked back at the glide slope. Floating like crazy. It's the longest landing ever.
Landing
November
time log.
7521 Echo.
We're hitting the
When
landing
vacated,
markers for the
contact
other
ground
runway.
When vacated, contact ground 121.8.
I shouldn't have watched that. I shouldn't have watched the glide slope because visually it looked fine. I started adding power to catch back up to the glide slope, but it was very glide slope was like wanting us very far down the runway. But this plane floats so much, so I just need to remember that This thing is like hard to get it to touch now. I was idle like shortly after we crossed the threshold. Idle on the throttle. Full flaps. Alright, let's stop here. Get those flaps up.
Elkhart ground, November 7521 Echo.
Alright,
Runway
parking
vacated
brake.
Delta.
Alright, let's go up here. Fuel pumps to auto. Ignition off.
Taxi to parking 12 via
Landing
Delta
lights
Alpha
off.
Charlie
Taxi
Echo.
light
Hold
on.
short of runway 0
Strobe
wind
off.
27.
I have a switch for my
Taxi to
strobe.
parking 12 via Delta Alpha Charlie.
And
Echo.
turn
Hold
pitot
short of
heat,
runway
install heat
09
off.
27, November 7521 Echo.
Parking 12, Delta, Alpha, Charlie, hold short runway 927. So we're parking over here. They're wrong on all the... There's Deltas over here. Delta, Alpha's here, and I assume maybe this is Charlie. Anyway, I'm just going to follow the waypoints that they listed just to get to the right parking spot. Bring the flaps up. But if it was VATSIM, they would tell us the real taxiway names here. There's something just like with the ATC data. I don't think Navigraph data fixes, or maybe it is unable to fix the taxiway info, like taxiway routes and intersections and all that, because our nav data is updated, right? But I don't think that includes any of the ground. Any taxi information, basically, because no ATC gets it right, so they don't like have their own or anything. I'm curious, like all the beyond ATC hype. That's a question as well. Like, will it get taxiways correct? They might run into the same limitations as, you know, FSHud and Pilot to ATC and Pro ATC and Microsoft Flight Sim Zone ATC. This looks like it's taking us all the way to the threshold at 2.7 maybe, and then crossing at the threshold over to that parking on the east, that southeast side. Still smooth. TBM floats too. Yeah, and it doesn't want to land. Yeah, I feel like you have to just like force the nose down. It like feels bad though. More an issue. It's like flying a jet too, or like a business jet. You kind of have to like, in the citation, like force the nose down. Honda jet, Vision jet, all the same way, you know. True to life. Oh, we're grouped off already. I guess you have to drop people off. No, not technically. I can drop them off anywhere. I'll just come to you guys. There's nothing you really get from going to the specific parking spot that FSHud tells you. Dax, it's FSHud. Or Naptown. FSHud. I put in the link in the description. I think it's the best one of what's out right now, but I mean, none of them are absolutely amazing. It's just better than, you know, like everything, I guess, better than the built-in ATC. But yeah, we'll see how it goes next year with Beyond ATC. I'm Brazilian. What's up, Paulo? How's it going? They were talking about that in the Discord. People complaining about full flaps floating. Real life pilots started calling it out. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was it does flow a ton. Like, that'd be cool if they fixed it. Oh, dude, Delta, is that what you're actually using? You're probably not actually using that. Oh, Jewel, are you flying an airliner too? Yes, we got the fuel spot. Beautiful. Yeah, that's good enough. Delta, not even in a Delta livery. Feels bad. All right, let me get this all cleaned up here. What? Bleed air out. This off. All the climate control stuff off. Let's get
Engine
cut
off,
off.
time The flight is finished. It
Lights
has
off.
been monitored by OnAir.
All right. Hour and 11 minutes. It felt way longer than that. All right. I got the bleed air this time. I remembered it. Flaps are already up. I wonder if it remembers the pitch trim. Actually, I'm going to leave it down and see if it sticks for the next flight, which I think we'll have to wait till Thursday. What time it's already been 2 hours and 20 minutes. I feel like I should call it a night. Sorry, I don't. Delta, you were waiting here for me, weren't you, to fly the next flight? Dude, now I feel bad. I think if I keep going, I'll feel like the stream is too long. Did I turn everything off up here? And I also know if I don't stop now, I'll be eating dinner at like 10 p.m., which is becoming a habit on stream nights. All right, I think that is all set correctly. All right, let me check on OnAir. Thankfully, it automatically tracked it. Very smooth. It didn't feel... I guess it was pretty smooth. It just felt really long. Oh, yeah, and then I need to do passenger drop-off, right? Ground ops. Open. And we'll do unload real time. Passengers stretching their legs. Did they take selfies now, or was it on the way in? I didn't think you hit start. I actually didn't. Yeah, I didn't hit start, but because I already hit fly now, even though I didn't hit start tracking, and the loading went correctly, it auto tracked. I don't know if that's a new thing, but I feel like it did it last time and I wasn't expecting it. Man, these cameras keep getting stuck. It's kind of weird. The way the auto cameras work in the M500, it like leaves your showcase camera, your drone camera, in like a weird position. I don't know what, I mean, Delta's not using this, he says, but this is a cool livery. How was that landing distance, Jewel? Who else is here? Okay, Loki and Josh are next to me. Are you guys both in the... Oh, Josh is in the Vision Jet. Kind of missed the Vision Jet. And Loki's in the 930. Can't even see the liveries. It's probably because you have traffic here. It's probably from two settings. If you go to general options, you have to go to traffic and then scroll down here and use generic aircraft models for multiplayer. Needs to be off so you can see the actual planes they're flying or the best match. And then it'll only load so many different types of planes and liveries unless you have traffic variety turned to ultra. But the more of these settings you turn to off, like the AI traffic models to off, generic models off, and multiplayer generic models off, and traffic variety higher to ultra, it will impact your performance for sure. So if it's really, really bad, this is a good place to start with. All right, guys. Dude, Delta, I feel so bad, but I know you were waiting, and I think if I do another one, I'm gonna regret streaming too long and eating dinner too late. So, but I will be back on Thursday. I'll probably do some VATSIM on Thursday. If I get everything set up in time with, tomorrow I'll be swapping out the motherboard, CPU, and RAM. The most fun of changes. It always takes hours to do that, so Just hit instant here. There we go. It always takes hours to do that, so it'll be a fun night tomorrow night, and then I'll be on Thursday for a stream on VATSIM, assuming I have everything hooked up and working. I'm doing a full fresh install of absolutely everything on a new hard drive, so we'll see how that goes. And the sim is frozen when I hit unload instant, and it's been frozen, so can't move the sim right now. First non-CTD flight in 2 days. Nice, Delta. Wait, did you even change anything? Did you figure out what was causing the issue? Landing calculator said I only needed 4,600 feet with auto braking 3, made the second to last turn off. That's the turn off I made, I think. You want to go to bed on a win rather than risk another flight. Nice. Sounds good. It didn't work. You have to end the flight for it to reset. You'll also not be able to see any liveries that you don't own. So Soul, if you're on PC, if you don't have it yet, get FSLTL. I'll type it in the chat. FSLTL. You have to have the liveries. It's almost like the same way the planes work. You can't see the model of the planes unless you own them. So, you know, like the 930 here is in the sim by default, so everyone has it. But Josh, when Josh was in this park, oh, Josh is here right now. Sorry, Josh is in the Cirrus Vision Jet. So, and I own that, so I see him in the Vision Jet. If you don't have the Vision Jet, you'll see him in like something else, something generic. But he'll still be at the same speed and altitude that he's in, you know, in whatever plane he happens to be flying. FSLTL is two separate things. It's called, it's Flight Sim Live Traffic Liveries. What I would do is just install the livery pack. It's like a mega pack of liveries if you have the space for it. I just have that installed, so whenever somebody uses one of those, like, thousands of liveries it has or whatever, for the most part it works in general to show them in the right livery. It's compatible with VATSIM if you end up doing that, so you'll see planes represented correctly in VATSIM. And the second part of FSLTL is it does traffic injector. So if you've used the Microsoft Flight Sim real world traffic setting, that injects real world traffic data, like real plane routes and stuff. The FSLTL one is more configurable. You can limit how many planes it pulls in, and I think it's more accurate. Like, it'll pull in more real-time flights instead of the delayed data that Microsoft uses for their traffic. But the website will list it for you. I'm not sure, Delta. I think it works for me. Like, I do not have... I know it matched it incorrectly, but... Okay, like this, for example. This ETA Airways one... Maybe it's matching them incorrectly, but whoever's in that... Oh, Delta's in that. It changed yours again. Maybe it just picks a random one. But I don't think I downloaded this from anywhere. I'm not sure. Maybe it's from a marketplace. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about its compatibility with multiplayer. I'm not certain. Maybe it is only VATSIM. I do tend to download a lot of livery packs when they're on sale, but anyway, it's worth a shot. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it, Soul. You can try it out, see if it works. If you don't do VATSIM, you might not end up caring. Sometimes I'll just buy the really cheap livery packs that are in the marketplace when they're like $3 or $4 for a pack of, like, 50, A320 liveries. I'll just buy that just in case somebody else happens to have one and use it. But yeah, it only really matters on VATSIM. It's really nice on VATSIM when they tell you to give way to a Delta or a Southwest or whatever. You look out and it is a Delta or Southwest livery. It's really nice. Just adds that realism. But you might want to also just get FSLTL for the traffic as well. Like, you can tell it to do, it moves them more realistically on the ground and does more real time, like with real world flights. And you can limit it to save on your frames and performance. So you can say, like, only do 10 IFR flights and 5 VFR flights, stuff like that. All right, guys, Thanks for flying along. Kind of a short stream today, 2.5 hours. Not too bad. I'm excited to upgrade the system tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Thursday. So I'll see you guys then, probably for some VATSIM flights, and probably still in the M500 because it's awesome. And yeah, hope you guys had a good time flying along. You guys that were here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night. Have a good next flight if you're doing another one, and I'll see you then or on Discord in the meantime. All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.